Okay, who here hasn't been to space? Why? You better not throw up on my ship.
Approaching jump in 3, 2, 1.
What's up and what's going on, everyone, and welcome back to my YouTube channel where we discuss all things movies, TV, streaming, hot topics, and more. And one of the movies that we're going to be discussing right now today is the Thor Love and Thunder. This is going to be our Thor Love and Thunder review. We are going to be talking about what we liked about the film, what we didn't like about the film. We're going to talk about different events in the film and lots of different things like that. So at any point in this video, if you don't agree or you do agree with something that we like, go ahead and go down below in the comments. Comment what you guys thought about the film or what we're going to say about the film. If you don't like something we've said or if you like something we said, we want to hear all of you guys' thoughts on the film. To be honest with you, where I think Thor Love and Thunder is, it represents the MCU. The current state of Phase 4, it represents it perfectly. It is aggressively okay. It is aggressively okay. The current Phase 4 is aggressively okay. I have things in Phase 4 that I absolutely adore. No Way Home, I adore. WandaVision, I fucking adore. Loki, I adore. But then, bro, there are Phase 4 things that I have been like,
Hawkeye's your favorite, right?
Miss. And Hawkeye is one of those fucking misses. Falcon Winter Soldier is one of those fucking misses. And now you've got Thor Love, and I could go on with some more misses, but I'm not going to do that because this is a Thor Love and Thunder review. Thor Love and Thunder is a miss. It's a miss for me, personally. Do I hate the film? I know I previously said before the camera started, I hate Thor Love and Thunder. I don't hate it, man. I don't hate it. It's just, it's not good.
See, man, that's Multiverse of Madness to me, where I'm like, I don't hate it, right? But like, there are so many scenes that I was like, what the fuck are you doing, guys? Like, I wanted to pull someone aside and be like, listen, you can't, Reed Richards dies like that, or you know, things, but look, we're getting on Multiverse of Madness. I think this movie was, it's weird because, like, it was trying to be really funny, but it was also trying to be really, like, egregiously Thor style of heartfelt, right? And then certain times it was like, Gorr didn't match this movie. I'm sorry, he didn't, right?
They tried too hard to be funny.
That's the thing. There were certain periods where, like, it was not meant to be funny right there, right? But now, there were some moments in this movie, I was belly laughing, dude. There are certain moments that had me cracking up.
There were definitely moments that had me laughing.
But,
I'm not gonna sit here and say I was stone cold.
But, like, again, for, like, the 20 minutes you get to see Gorr in this movie, like, he was done pretty well, I would say, but, like, I almost want to say the depiction of the gods we got kind of furthered Gorr's point of they're all just kind of narcissistic assholes that don't care about anybody.
But see,
like, but they were portrayed as like, flompy, as goofy, as, you know, the casting of the gods was a mess, you know, and I think Taika got
what he wanted.
I mean, I feel like things got in the way of him being himself. The plot of the movie got in the way from him having fun, is I feel like what happened here, right? Like, he wanted to, I mean, if you go in, if I told you Thor Love and Thunder is a parody of a Thor movie, then it's not a bad film. That's my whole thought on it. It just seems so fucking goofy, man.
But see, I can't just look at it as a parody of a Thor movie for me. I mean, it is definitely a parody of a Thor movie because there was moments where it felt like an SNL skit. Yeah. There were moments where the film felt like Melissa McCarthy and Matt Damon's entire Broadway show that they were doing for the people of New Asgard. That's what the film felt like. It felt like it was trying to be funny, like Melissa McCarthy and Matt Damon were being funny. But to me, you know, like I said, was Chris Hemsworth great? Chris Hemsworth was great as Thor. Thor was great. It was just there was no balance. There was no. It was so heavy on the humor, unlike Ragnarok, where Ragnarok had a beautiful balance of humor and the serious tones. Thor Love and Thunder doesn't do that. Even in the serious tones, there's jokes underlining it. Like in the serious tone of Jane in the hospital, when the doctor tells Thor, there's nothing we can do, she has cancer, stage 4, and he punches that's a real emotion. That's something I want to see from Thor. I want to see that in Thor in that moment. He's upset. Jane is going to die. Right. And that's the love of his life. And the doctor telling you that, and there's nothing you can do about it, and you're a god. So you feel that when he starts punching the vending machine, but then you spoil that moment with him, oh, somebody left the fridge open. Bro, no, that's a serious moment in that moment. Like, let Thor be Thor in that moment. Let him have a caring, emotionally drawn to you to that moment. But I wasn't. That's why I didn't feel shit when she died.
Well, but see, okay, no, the addressing the death of Jane. That, to me, if in the same fucking movie you're gonna have a post-credit scene where she's alive, well, kind of alive, what was the whole point of her death scene? Explain that to me. Well, it takes all... Because I could leave the theater and be like, holy shit, like, the movie had jokes, but they really killed off the mighty Thor. Like, Jane is dead. Oh my god. And then in a later film, somehow you introduce her as how she didn't die. But in the same fucking movie? No, I don't give a shit. That death was meaningless. It meant nothing. There is no emotional attachment to it because I know upon leaving the same film she dies in that she is alive. What is your purpose? What was your point of doing it? That was stupid.
It felt like a rom-com. It felt like a long-winded rom-com. But we've been going, Q. You watched it with me. What are your thoughts on Thor: Love and Thunder?
I got a lot to say because there's just so many. I'll look at it from so many different perspectives. Because me as like the 20-year-old who went in there and watched it just low-key emotionally, like it looked like it hit me for like on some emotional level. I don't know why. Like maybe it was the reconnection of Jane and Thor coming back and actually seeing that side, because like you were saying before we started filming or whatever, you don't think like he progressed or whatever as a character, but the side of like, I feel like he learned the side of love so much to where he
But have we not seen that with Thor?
But this is different though. We have seen, because this is just a different... He's gonna have a daughter in that sense, but that's not what makes up for it. The sense is like he's been through this sense, he's been through something now of where he couldn't control what happened in every scenario. Like if he loves something, he could go do whatever, he can control it. But this was kind of like she's like, no, like you have to love, like you have to let go, love. This is how you.
He couldn't control Jane dying either. She was gonna die regardless. The cancer, Mjolnir was killing her regardless. Every time she used Mjolnir, it was killing her.
Teacher, classroom. So this movie's called Thor: Love and Thunder. Where the fuck was the thunder? Because you're right. They tried to develop the love. They tried to bring in Jane. They tried to do this and that.
But even even what he was saying there on the developing Thor there, I still didn't see any development in Thor, because we've seen Thor love plenty of times. He loves Loki. We've seen Loki. We've seen how distraught he was when Loki died every time.
Well, not only that, but him and Loki's moments,
his mother's
emotionally trope anything this movie did.
Yes. Yeah.
This is supposed to be the love of his life and the most important person to him, but like, just him simply being like, "Oh, brother," you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not the same. His love for what he has shown Loki in the MCU far surpasses. This movie was too goofy to show that.
You take the Loki's last death when Thanos killed Loki. Take the emotion that Chris Hemsworth brought with Thor when he's sitting there and he's got his mouth covered and he's screaming no, but it's muffled and his tears are crying, or tears are coming down his face. All he told Gorr was, "Why would I spend my last moments with you when I could spend them with her?" That's what I'm saying, bro. There's no... I'm sorry. I did not feel the You didn't make me feel anything in that moment. With every Loki death, I felt something. Every Loki death, I felt something, because Thor made you... Like, even though they have that relationship that they have, especially in Infinity War, you just feel something when Thor loses everything. And in Ragnarok, you feel something when Thor loses everything. You feel for Thor in Ragnarok. Not only do you feel for Thor, you're on an emotional journey with Thor in Ragnarok. You go from feeling for him to laughing with him to being badass with him to loving him to loving with him to feeling like shit again to being triumphant and being the king of Asgard and everything again. But then with Thor: Love and Thunder, I don't feel that. Like, I didn't feel any. I didn't feel any of that. It felt like a collection of side stories. It felt like this could have been told in, like, I don't know, what are they doing with I Am Groot? It's shorts. This could have been a series of shorts.
I almost felt like, because I thought at one point, I wish the Guardians wouldn't have left, right? Like, I wish he would, because that would, because this movie is similar in tone to a Guardians movie as far as the humor and the music and the, but then I was like, oh, fuck, this is supposed to be not only is this supposed to be a Thor movie, this is supposed to be a very serious Thor movie about, like, and that's my big thing, is you have we went into this, and you brought up the bait and switch, and I agree with you wholeheartedly. Where we're introduced to Gorr the God Butcher, right? And he is on. I mean, it showed in the movie when you have like thousands of fucking alerts pop up. You know what I'm saying? SOSs,
but yeah.
help up.
Yeah, shit. But yeah.
But I'm saying like Gorr is doing his fucking thing, right? And then that's what you got. I'm sorry. Like, there should have been way more action. There should have been way more stakes at play. Gorr was nerfed, in my opinion. Gorr was...
sidelined. He was sidelined, and I want to.
Well, yeah, you get 20 minutes of Gorr in a 2-hour movie, and he's supposed to be the antagonist.
He's supposed to be. That's what and I want to get Q's
But you were right about that fucking
I want to get Q's thoughts on that really quick, but I want to say this to what you said about the Guardians. See, the difference in the Guardians and James Gunn is that was established. Mm-hmm. In the first Guardians, James Gunn established the humor. So going into, I know a lot of people look at Guardians of the Galaxy 2 and they're like, it misses for me because it's too funny.
That's your fault for expecting
Are you kidding me? When Yondu, when that happens?
Man, I adore Guardians of the Galaxy 2. It's not in my top 5 or anything like that, but
no, but it's a great fucking
It's a great film. It's like, I love the campfire scene where Drax goes, he's talking to Star-Lord, he goes, I thought that Yondu was your real father, and Rock goes, what's blue? That is so fucking funny.
Or I just like that, even let's talk about emotional scenes when he's he's your father, but he ain't your daddy scene. Like that shot, I'm like, bro. But that's the difference, though, is that Guardians, while being a very humorous, fun... I've always said anything space with MCU seems to be more humor and whatnot, but when Guardians wants to hit you...
They'll hit you, bro.
They will hit you. I mean, even when... What's the one more example, please, is when in Infinity War, right? When when Iron Man and and Spider-Man meet the Guardians... And he's all serious where he wants, he's going after Thanos. But then he's like, I'll do you one better. Who's Gamora? Yeah. Like, they're so funny, but they convey so much real emotion. Right. This was surface level bullshit.
It was.
And that's my problem with it. Thor can be hilarious, but also get serious when it's time to ball.
And that's what I'm saying with Thor being serious. I mean, we've seen Thor be funny. We've seen Thor be serious. In Infinity War, when he came into Wakanda, he was serious. When he was trying to fasten Stormbreaker, he was serious. We've seen Thor.
That was the dopest scene with him too.
But I mean, Q, your thoughts on everything we just said there?
No, yeah. Essentially, just to double back, I essentially have two perspectives. The first one was trying to not to hate on it. As y'all see, that really kind of got shut down kind of quick. So I'm just going to start hating on that shit too.
I don't hate it.
I don't hate it.
I don't feel the love in it.
It's just very shallow.
That movie is one of the corniest movies I have ever watched in my life. I can start with seeing spoilers. Heimdall's son popping up in these little clouds and shit, corny. Thor going and just meeting all these kids who are in the fucking shadow realm or whatever, just popping up, but he's not really there, and he's like, are you all scared? Corny. Just popping up. What are y'all doing? How are y'all gonna... Corny. Goes back, gets back to whatever he does. No. While he goes out there, Jane's sitting next to him, tickling his nose with her hair, he's not talking to fucking a group of 30 Asgardian kids who are scared shitless, and she's sitting here.
Yeah, that scene.
Corny.
Forgot about that. So many corny
the scene at the end where the kids go, where he gives his power to Thor temporarily. Corny.
It's terrible.
Where all these kids go and fight him, get the power of Thor. They teddy bear, it's just so corny. It is.
And
it's I try to look at it for the good in it, because that's what I honestly try to do with most things I watch, because I love Marvel. I don't go see any other movies really outside of Marvel, so it's I don't want to say it's a bad movie, because I still enjoy almost every Marvel movie, but when it comes to falling off, that was one of the biggest fall-offs in Marvel, in the MCU, that I've witnessed, because everything was so meaningless. The Korg killing Korg, whenever he speared Korg,
comes right back.
My heart fucking dropped, bro. I was about to cry, and then I'm right here, I was just oh. Nigga's still
there's
here.
No stakes.
Then he get tied to the back of Valkyrie's head. Corny to me. Why are you taking?
To me, that was a God of War reference.
Everything was so corny, and then you get the scenes where she has him sitting there, just talking to Korg's head, posting
and Korg singing.
So yes, it's just everything.
No, but y'all played God of War, right?
No,
so you know what I'm talking about.
Corny.
I didn't mind the goats.
I didn't mind the goats.
I didn't mind the goats.
So I mean, here's my really last thing I'm gonna say on this.
If I was Gorr and them goats showed up on my boy, them loud ass niggas would have been done for.
Right. But no, so here's the last thing I'm really gonna say on this is I fully believe that in storytelling you have to have the highest of highs to understand the depth of the lowest of lows, right? I need to see my character winning in love, happy, having fun, enjoying himself, and then have it all ripped out from under him to really raise the stakes for me, right? So you have a movie, he's with the Guardians, he's kind of having, it's Thor, he's ha-ha, and having a good time, and Jane, and then you introduce him to a Zeus that is scary and manipulative as fuck. That's what you do. Or you bring in Gorr, who is slaughtering gods in a very violent fashion. So it's like, you get the difference there, but whenever you have a goofy, fun, that's where Thor can have his highs, and the realities of the situation bring him to focus, right? They temper the man into what he needs to do, and that's how you have character growth, right? But instead, he's like, he sees Zeus, and it's goofy. And it's funny. It's like, motherfucker, you fit here perfect. I mean, you know what I'm saying? And then you go to Gorr, and that shit happens. It's just nothing in this movie tempered him in any way. Characters need to experience a real loss. And again, Korg, he's back. He didn't die. Jane, she's back.
It's
nothing
happened in this movie.
Because there are no stakes.
But that's what it is. Kind of everything. What more can you really do to Thor to try and develop him as a character?
Oh, there's so much more that can be developed as Thor. Because we left him in a broken place. The same way they just developed Wanda in Multiverse of Madness, where we left Wanda and WandaVision broken, but then they took that broken story and made her this fantastic fucking villain in Multiverse of Madness. We left Thor broken in Endgame.
Well, that's why I was excited when they introduced Jane, and I know he's going to see Zeus. That was, my head was spinning of like, if you had, again, the manipulative, scary Zeus, right? I was like, there's so much they can do to him. But he can force Thor to go after Gorr for the sake of Jane. Like, there's so much they can play on this to make him have to grow and learn and develop, but they didn't do anything.
I think it's Zeus. That's because the plot was really scared of Gorr.
The plot
walked up to Thor and told him, like, yes, I'm
terrified.
He has the Necro Sword, which can kill us.
The plot was rushed. It was underwhelming.
Mm-hmm. I think even them beating Zeus was really fucking cheesy.
They didn't even really beat Gorr. They lost. The nigga just chose to give his daughter life.
Yeah, that was another one that I was like, what are you doing?
They lost.
Yeah.
They didn't win.
Like I said, the plot was rushed to make more rooms for jokes and everything like that. For me with the Gorr thing, it's the typical MCU formula. It's another villain that we saw for 20, 30, 40 minutes that was now killed and is now out of the MCU.
Yeah. I'll admit, though, I did like... So, I mean, again, we all do... Chris Hemsworth does a great Thor, right? I liked seeing Jane back in the movie.
No, I liked all that.
I thought Tessa Thompson as Valkyrie, and we discussed that she really had no point. But I like seeing these characters. They've casted them well.
That's cool.
Just use them correctly.
That's cool. I can hell, when I turn on YouTube, I like seeing that Bale and Levine uploaded a new video, but I can like the shit all day. But if it does not give me any substance, if it doesn't give me anything, it doesn't fucking matter. Right. You created a movie, again, that's a collection of fucking side stories. At no point in this film did I ever feel that Thor was in danger. At no point in this film did I ever feel that those fucking kids were in danger. And the whole time that these kids are in New Asgard and New Asgard's getting attacked by Gorr and they're in their windows, are they that hard sleepers that they didn't hear that shit going on outside their window to where Gorr was able to creep in with the shadow monsters and steal them? I mean, like I said, my thing with Gorr too, every kill with Gorr was off screen. Yeah. With Thanos in Infinity War, Thanos established his fucking self. He beat the shit out of Hulk.
That's how you bring him in. A fucking manhandling two gods and
God Butcher, and you've got Thor: Love and Thunder. You've got all these gods in here. We're seeing Thor kill. We're seeing all Gorr's killings off screen. Every kill, and when I say off screen, I'm talking like if you blink, you missed it.
He killed one god on screen.
It was a stupid. It was stupid. It was a terrible scene that CGI honestly almost took me out of because the CGI on that was awful. The CGI in this film was awful. I'm trying not to go so hard, but Jesus, it was terrible. The scene when they were on wherever the fuck was that, Olympus, wherever the fuck they were with all the gods, when they were walking and she was going through her catchphrase, which I didn't really find that corny because she's supposed to be corny. She's the serious scientist who now has the powers of a god, who knows that she's dying and she's trying to just live out her last days. So she of course she's gonna come up with corny catchphrases. I didn't find that part bad. The part in that I found bad was when her mask came on, the VFX effects, bro. I was in the theater like this.
Bro, when Thor did that shit, it looked bad.
It was bad. And I know a lot of people keep saying Korg was great. Korg, for me, I didn't like it. I loved everything he said in Ragnarok, but in this, it was just overbearing. Everything was so funny. I was about to say,
I feel like they listened to too many fans here, and Korg was funny. They tried to put him in too much. Gave him too much dialogue.
Gave him too much. Like another serious scene when they're on the boat and they're on their way to the Shadow Realm, and you've got him and you've got Thor and Jane on the deck talking in a very serious conversation. She tells him, "I have cancer," and he's coming to the realization, again, I'm a god and there's nothing I can do about that. And she's trying to outplay it by being, I didn't say that, trying to not think about the cancer. Then you've got a microphone up to Korg's mouth and he's singing while this is going on. What do you think that those two up there doing? You think that kid, I don't think they're talking. Like, it's just stupid, bro.
You know how we have kids? We hold hands over a
I'm fully with that, and I think what you said earlier just needs some credit as to, the point of what they hyped up so much in this film was the Christian Bale Gorr, right? And like you said,
he was brilliant.
Hear me out.
In the scenes he showed up in, I can't say that he wasn't.
He was given, that's really. But I couldn't take my eyes off him.
You mentioned, I was thinking about it. Thanos' introduction, right? Was him literally killing
one of the
two gods and then fighting Hulk. All three of them, right? We're talking top tier characters. We understood very quickly Thanos' power. There was no question to it, but that's what I mean by high highs and low lows, right? So you have Thor, the walking god, who, dude, nothing can fucking stop me. I'm a walking god. And then Gorr beats the fucking brakes off.
That's
him.
what it should have been.
The first time they meet
in New Asgard.
Yeah, the first time they meet. No, and I'm talking to a level where Thor he's being corny. He's the whole like. No. He says something lame as fuck, swings fucking Stormbreaker, and Gorr's just ching. Breaks your goddamn kneecap. I'm saying hurt you bad.
You should have hurt him.
I've had I don't want people to come at me in the comments and say, "Oh, Trey just likes violent, gory scenes." No, I'm saying so that you.
I'm expecting Gorr the God Butcher to be goddamn Gorr the God Butcher.
Yeah. But also, I'm saying on a storytelling perspective, so we can understand and Thor can understand. I fucked up. We're in trouble. There's real consequences.
There should have been consequence, and there wasn't. Like, even in the scene where Russell Crowe pranced down the stairs, even in that scene, for me, that scene, you could have kept the orgy stuff in there because that's so Zeus.
Yep.
You could have kept that. But what the overall tone, you're telling me you got all the gods. Well, not all the gods. I guess there's lower level gods. So you've got some of the most powerful gods in one place. Gorr the God Butcher's out there. Even though Zeus said he's not scared of Gorr himself, but he's scared of the Necro Sword. So with him having the Necro Sword, that should have been the tone of the conversation with the rest of the fucking gods. Yes, we got the orgy. You're invited. Let's talk about Gorr coming to kill us. Let's talk about us being the gods and how we're going to handle this fucking maniac that's out here killing gods. Let's not talk about, why are you talking? What a flick. Like, that shit's so fucking stupid to me, bro. It took me out of the scene. The accent, all of it, man. All of it. Even the thunderbolt and throwing it back at him. I'm thinking to myself, what the fuck?
I'm saying they made his, some kind of little intro that shit was
like
so
what
corny,
the fuck?
Bro.
And then just for them to leave as easily as they left. So you're telling me Zeus, the god of gods, just dies and the rest of the gods just go,
son of a bitch.
Oh. Man.
Let's watch these screaming goats crashing.
And the action scenes for me were non-fucking existent. The action scenes that did happen, like the new Asgard scene when Gorr first showed up, bro, I set up.
Bro, I was so
I set up. I was like, ooh, here we go. Because the way he was just like the crowd,
like when he would disappear,
and he was on the other side of the crowd, and Thor was looking at him, and he was looking at Thor, and like you said, when he disappeared, I was like, oh shit, oh shit, this is gonna be so dope, and it was dope. Even when he was putting the Necrosword and Thor was talking, he's like, ah, you know, he was like, ah, that was funny, that was cool, that was within the moment. Even when he hit Gorr and threw him, like when he grabbed him, he said, "Don't touch my things," and he threw. I was like, "Oh, that's so fucking dope." But then what happened? Gorr, like, Jane lands, Valkyrie lands, Thor staring at him. He looks at all three of them, disappears. Why? Why have him disappear in that moment? Because the next time they fought, it was underwhelming. His whole torture captive speech he gave them, like, I know who you are, you lost your sisters, like the things he was, brilliant. I love dialogue, so it was brilliant. But the action, like the call, the axe, brilliant. But the action didn't hit. No, the last fight, it didn't hit. Even with James, like, first, like what she was telling him, first I'm this, it's not Lady Thor, it's Mighty Thor, and third, eat my hand. Corny, and that battle sucked. Because you had kids with fucking
teddy bears,
teddy bears, or shit they found fucking laying on the ground at some fucking
everybody find a piece of. Everybody grab your weapon.
And whoever be worthy should be to possess the powers of Thor temporarily. And you got this little girl with a teddy bear doing circles.
That's what.
Like, bro, that whole thing was corny to me. That fight should have been so serious. That fight should have been serious.
That's one thing. You have a whole, like, you have your serious villain that if you're going to kill him off, at least make it in, like, a worthy battle or something.
And then they didn't even beat him.
Whole, like, essentially, so the whole movie essentially was him going around killing lower level gods, they said. Like, he didn't even get to the higher up ones. And then essentially he loses to a group of kids. Like,
that's really, because it's like I said, the reason I say the scene should have been more serious because the stakes that were, if he would have when he did get to eternity, but if he would have gotten to eternity and Thor wasn't able to talk him out of doing what he really was trying to get to,
bullshit
right, that's to get to what he was really trying to get to an eternity to do. You're telling me you want a group of Asgardian kids to stop him from making and I hate the whole idea of making eternity at Wishing Stone. Jesus, Marvel. So, but it's just like I hated it, and I'll say this last thing I'll say. And if anybody else has anything they want to say to chime in on that, you can. But honestly, what's happening in the MCU right now, Phase 4, it doesn't fucking matter. And the reason I'm going to say it doesn't matter is because when the X-Men get here, when the Fantastic Four get here, when Secret Wars gets here, when we start moving towards Doctor Doom and more Kang, no one's going to be talking about fucking Love and Thunder. No one's going to be like, well, Love and Thunder still sucked. No one's going to talk about that because we're going to be in a different space with the MCU. We're going to be in a different place where we're going to be like, holy shit, what's going on? No one's going to be talking about how bad Eternals was. No one's going to be talking about how bad that. No one's going to be talking about that shit because it's not going to matter. No one's going to be talking about that.
They talk about it.
People still say Eternals was shit. No one's going to be talking about that shit. Everybody's going to be talking about where we're moving with
the thing I had the numbers,
with Phase 4. And again, honestly, that's a position Marvel's earned. Marvel's earned that position to where they can put out a film as mid as Love and Thunder and it not mean a fucking thing. Because that's the position that they've earned. Yeah. That's where they are. They're now 30. They are officially 30 movies in. We now come out with Wakanda Forever, which is next, and hold your motherfucking breath for that. Oh, but that's next. That's in November. That's the next film. The next stuff that's coming out. We got the Groot shorts. Don't give a shit. We've got She-Hulk. I do care about that. We've got the last episode of Ms. Marvel, and we got Werewolf by Night before Wakanda Forever. Wakanda Forever is next. Thor: Love and Thunder was a miss for me personally. Anything else anybody else wants to say?
All I gotta say before we go is, y'all guys making Wakanda Forever better not fuck this up because I don't want to be in this room doing a review if you fuck that movie up.
San Diego Comic-Con, we may see some Thor: Love and Thunder. I'm sick of that. San Diego Comic-Con, we may see some Black Panther, maybe a trailer, a sizzle reel, something like that. I don't know, but whatever it is, I'm just going in curious with it all. Anything on Thor: Love and Thunder?
Yeah, that shit was really like, if you're a human who don't give a fuck about Marvel and just want to go watch a little goofy film, go do it. It's not that bad. But if you actually give a fuck about Marvel and everything, that shit is corny. If you're a Marvel fan, corniest Marvel movie, it don't matter. You don't need to watch it for the storyline. Wait till it come out on Disney Plus. Don't go spend no money on it. Don't buy no popcorn, no drinks. Bro, but Miss Marvel's finale Wednesday, tap in with us. You know, that's all I got to say, because that shit is goated. I love Miss Marvel.
If you have not seen Thor: Love and Thunder, if you are a big Thor fan just in general, this is one of the Marvel films that you can step into the Marvel Cinematic Universe without having seen the 29 other films and it not mean anything, because this film does not mean anything. It has no stakes for the MCU. It does not progress the MCU. It does not progress the overall mythology of the MCU. And to close it, I'm going to share what I said about the film. This is what my I guess me trying to be a critic, what I said about the film. I said Love and Thunder is aggressively okay. It is a fun film oversaturated with Taikai Waititi humor that seemed more interested in getting a laugh than furthering the MCU mythology, that in moments felt like a parody collection of nice moments over a Thor adventure. Unlike Thor Ragnarok's blend of humor and earnest tones, the funny overshadows the serious. Natalie Portman's Mighty Thor was great, but it's Christian Bale's Gorr performance that keeps you interested. Chris Hemsworth continued to be brilliant as Thor. Marvel's Phase 4 has had its highs and its lows. Love and Thunder is somewhere in between. Again, not a bad film, but aggressively okay. Personally, I enjoyed Multiverse of Madness much more. Overall, the film is going to be divided amongst the fandom. If you like Thor Ragnarok, you're likely going to love Thor Love and Thunder. It's the first MCU film that you do not have to watch anything else to understand it. But as always, question is for you guys. Let us know down below if you got to go see Thor Love and Thunder. What did you think of it? Did you like the film? Is it mid for you? Did you bust a gut laughing? I'm being honest with you, our theater laughed, but not really. It was the first film that I've gone to where I haven't seen the theater really engaged with the MCU film. Let us know down below what you thought. What did you think of Chris Hemsworth? What did you think of Christian Bale? What did you think of Natalie Portman as Jane? What did you think of Valkyrie's unnecessary presence in the film? What did you think about the kids? So many things in Thor Love and Thunder. Let us know down below in the comments. Like, subscribe, share with your friends. We'll see you guys in the next video.